How to overcome procrastination. Everyone puts things out now and then, but procrastinators regularly postpone difficult tasks and can seek distractions actively. Often, procrastination reflects the lack of self-control in an individual. I don't like it is possible for ordinary people who represent about 20% of the population, over goals or tasks, and who can send them on a downward spiral of bad feelings which help to discourage efforts. Procrastinating means a certain deceit. Procrastinators are conscious of the consequences and repercussions, but it takes more work to change their habits than to perform the task. Here are 3 important things. 1. Procrastination understanding. 2. The effects of procrastination. 3. Overcoming. How to overcome. 1. Procrastination understanding. Procrastinators are often perfectionists who can avoid a job more psychologically and risk not doing it perfectly. You may be so concerned about what others think of you that you are putting your future in danger so as not to be judged. The effects of procrastination. While some procrastinators can convince themselves that they are more effective under pressure, research indicates that this is not always so. Rather, they can establish a habit of last-minute work, which means that they feel the eagerness to have supposedly overcome the odds. Why have I put stuff off? We don't think that we will like to do them, and we want not to make ourselves unfortunate, or we fear that we'll do them well. We're not sure. We are driven by a number of thoughts and habits, but basically we avoid work or putting it on. People may also be discouraged by confusing themselves about the complexity of a task, e.g. filing taxes, or by being overly distracted or tired. What are the psychological causes of decay? Psychologists have identified different drivers of delay, from lack of self-confidence to anxiety, lack of structure, and simply not to be motivated to perform unpleasant tasks. Furthermore, research has shown that the delayed are closely related or fixed on negative thoughts with rumination. Is there any purpose for procrastination? Procrastination is a self-defeating behavioral pattern, but can be seen as psychologically advanced by protecting the individual from fear of failure, judgment by others, and self-condemnation, especially for people with perfectionist tendencies. Avoiding uncomfortable work by spending energy on other jobs, such as organizing or cleaning, also prevents procrastinators from feeling unproductive, even if they have to pay the price later on. Why do we really do something later on so sure? It is known as effective prognosis to predict how we shall feel in future, and people tend to be rather poor about it. For example, people who do not practice today may feel bad, but may raise their mood by predicting that they'll be doing so tomorrow. They therefore avoid feeling negative emotions at this time, but make the cycle repeat more likely. Who'd procrastinate most likely? Individuals who procrastinate can have different values than individuals who do not. In studies, progressives report that they value personal pleasure higher than others and value a strong work ethic less, and are more likely to carry out personal tasks than the tasks they are assigned to. Why do adolescents prod? It's somewhat suitable for the development of teens. One way that adolescents can withdraw from the parental authority is passive delay resistance. More independence and less supervision, however, also give less structure and more distractions. Like adults who tend to overlook their ability to work under pressure and their need to feel pressure to do their best. 2. The effects of procrastination. Procrastination may at the time alleviate pressure, but may cost steeply emotionally, physically, and practically. Students who routinely replenish are generally less well-being, workers who replenish work, and normal replenishes in general have reduced well-being in the form of insomnia or an immune system and a gastrointestinal disorder. Procrastinator may also compromise the relationships between individuals and professionals. Health harmful to procrastination? The risk of hypertension and cardiovascular disease can be higher if your health is protruded, exercises and checking are done, and you don't commit to healthy eating. Procrastinators are also more likely to blame themselves and disengage themselves from well-being, suggesting that cultivating more self-compassion can help these individuals to start taking care of themselves better. Is there a connection between delay and depression? All symptoms of depression include procrastination, avoidance, and rumination. People with depression can struggle to plan, lose trust and accept what's the point, and their ability to follow through. Some of these effects could be alleviated by a treatment approach known as behavioral activation, in which fun activities that provide a sense of control or achievement are planned. Can non-procrastinators have successful relationships? If a protractor interacts with a non-procrastinator, conflict is nearly unavoidable. Each places a very different value on his own time and considers his approach superior and strives to understand the motivations of the other person. However, like with any other conflict, it can help to keep a couple together by stepping back, taking another into account and finding ways to accept it and reacting. 3. How to overcome. Casting can be overcome, but it takes a lot of effort. Changing a usual behavior consumes much psychic energy, but a method that has worked for many is a highly organized system of cognitive behavioral therapy. Some cognitive tricks can help people to perform discrete tasks in the short term. How can I stop being prodded? Workplace control studies, which have identified 12 common forms of workplace recruitment, have revealed some possible solutions, including taking time frames for time limitation, but not too much, creating an individual challenge from mundane tasks, breaking large jobs into achievable pieces of work you can celebrate, and limiting access to online news and information. How can an adult change his mind? While people continue to benefit themselves, their future self pays the price of stress or penalty by avoiding unpleasant work. Building a sense of empathy for your future as for a close friend can be an important first step towards ending your habits, as we are less willing to put a good friend in such a disadvantaged situation. How can I stop making important choices? Many people are struggling to make important decisions, partly because choosing is not their responsibility. But sometimes people are just so exhausted by taking decisions that even relatively unimportant decisions are impossible to make. Research suggests that it can help resolve decision-making fatigue by respecting a personal set of decision-making rules or outsourcing certain decisions to a partner, friend, or colleague. I hope you will overcome procrastination. Thanks for watching. Think positive.